Morning Wood. I'm your host, Allie Burns from Picks and Parlays. We had a good day yesterday, friends. We had a really good day. And so I got a couple more for you. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Ready? So I got a couple more for you. So yeah, it was a really good day. If you remember, we changed up our system, right? We kind of left behind our old D2, manipulating those kind of stats, and we've moved into a paying attention to what's going on, who's better against the spread, rebounds, blocks, steals, stuff like that, right? And we did great. It was 11. No, it was. So I was 11-1 because I ended up taking Michigan also, but I didn't tell you guys to do that. So we were 10-1 on our. Yes, that was not correct. Was Tennessee. And what are you going to do, right? They did not. Well, you know what? I feel like maybe they showed up, but Florida really, really showed up. So good for you, Gators. And we lost one of them, but that ain't bad. So the teaser thing, so far, so good, right? So again, to tell you guys, I'm setting these picks up for 6-point teasers. Okay, that's kind of just what my brain is going to be working on this week and learning basically how to do teasers, how to build teasers, because it's not in my wheelhouse, but apparently it should be because I did well yesterday. And so did you if you followed the picks. If you're just joining, hit like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications so you never miss one of the Morning Wood shows or Total Chaos or free pick videos or, any of that stuff. Oh, you don't get the teaser thing. Yeah, I mean, so basically the thing with teasers is this. So because when I handicap numbers, I'm often like really close to my number. One of the other handicappers on the site was telling me you should tease it because it's basically like buying 6 points one way or the other, right? And you could do it on the total or you could do it on the side. So say like with the Boise State game today, Boise minus 14, if you wanted to be on Boise, subtract 6 points from that and you'd have Boise at that number minus 8. Or on the Fresno side, you could take Fresno plus 14 plus another 6, right? That's how the teasers are kind of working. They're giving you, but you have to parlay them together. 2 teasers together is basically a straight bet. It's like a minus 110, minus 120 juice. Then you get 3 together and you're up in the plus 120 range. So I did 4 5-team teasers yesterday, and I put $5 on each one, just seeing what's going to happen with the new system. Tennessee happened to be on 2 of those, which was my mistake, right? If we're going to tease, I don't want to do that. So 2 of them lost, but 2 of them won. So for that $5 bet, I made $20 back. I collected 20. So I spent 20 to make 20, and I could have made 40 and then getting my 20 back. So anyway, I think there's some value here. It's just how I'm rolling along, and we'll see what happens. It won't be forever. These are all still straight bettable. I mean, nothing about them is like I wouldn't straight bet it necessarily. I'm just looking for a little bit of added value with being able to tease them. And just learning, because I know a lot of teasers on our site and stuff. So I just want to know what it's all about. Okay, so the first one that we're going to talk about is Fresno State at Boise State, which is what we've been mentioning. So here's where my head is at as far as this goes, right? The total on this team, or the total on this game, is 140. Fresno State's total average right now is a 141. Boise's is a 151. So I feel both of those are over the 140, right? So I feel if we take 140 over, that's really going to bring us down to a 134. And that's what I really like in that spot, is going Boise over 140. And don't get me wrong, I like it as a straight bet too. The stats still line up for it to be a straight bet. So I'm a fan of that one. The side on Boise was, I don't want to say it was tricky for me. Minus 14 is a good spread. I'm going to, but I guess why it was tricky is like, do I want 20 points with Fresno, or do I want, why can't I do math right now? 4 minus 2, 8 points with Boise. I feel like I want 8 points with Boise because in Boise's last 2 games, they beat Wyoming by 20, beat Wyoming by 23, beat Air Force by 20. So Boise minus 20 to me is like a pushable number at this point, right? So if you're giving me minus 14, I'm going to take that down to the -8, and we're going to take Boise minus 14. Again, I think that's just a fine straight bet too. Fresno State does have some really good shooters. Hey, Craig Trapp, what's happening? Fresno does have some good shooters. Don't get me wrong. They got a 7-footer from Las Vegas shooting 52%. But this Boise team and their defense has been really, really strong. So I know it's a little like funny to take a number over when it's a team with a good defense, but they like to score a lot. Okay, so we're going to move on from that. I've had comments in my videos that I ramble on too long, so I'm just gonna try to wrap things, tighten it up, you know, like a Toiger. So the next one I looked at was Colorado at Washington. And if you've been watching the show, you know I tell you guys, wake up in the morning, drink your coffee, in Washington, right? Because they are just not a very, very good team this season. And I don't exactly know why. I can't quite put my finger on it. They're sophomore. There's 2 seniors, 2 juniors. There's a guy 6'11", 6'9". I mean, like, they have height. They have upperclassmen. They're in a difficult conference, granted, but they're getting wiped out. This one was a little bit funny to me because, okay, so the Colorado total average here is 138. For the game, the number is 144. So Colorado's a little underneath that, right? Washington, on the other hand, is way freaking above it. They're 156, and that's primarily because people score all over them. And they're not a bad little shooting team. I mean, they're averaging 70 points a game. The book stat will tell you 65, but in the last 5 games, they're averaging 70 points. The problem is they're giving up 86 points, and that, I mean, that's 16. That's not how you play basketball. You're underwater, Washington. So, and they have kind of rolled through a tough, I have an itch on my nose. They have kind of rolled through a tough point in their schedule also, where they just hit Stanford and USC and UCLA, and they're kind of all in the tops. But they just played a good one against UCLA, 76-81. I feel like they're feeling good about themselves right now. And Colorado is a really, really fantastic team. They are really, really good at playing basketball. I definitely like Colorado as the side, so I'm going to tease them down it's at 12.5, so it would be at 6.5. And then the 144 total, I'm going to take that over, is what I'm going to do, because even though Colorado's total average is a 138, they were playing UCLA and Oregon and Stanford, and I think that they're going to be able to pump that up. And like I said, Washington's feeling pretty good about themselves right now, coming off a close one, 76-81 as 15-point dogs to UCLA. So I'm going to go over the 144, and that will tease it down to a 138. Okay. Hi, guys. Yeah, I like the MAC today, too. I didn't look at it too much. Bill McDonald agrees. Let's do Colorado easy, he says. Yeah, I agree. It's a bad year. You know, it's a bad year, Washington. I guess the thing they've got going for them is that they're at home. Maybe Colorado isn't as strong on the road. At UCLA, they lost by 3, but it's a good team. And then even against Utah, who kind of stinks, they only won it 7. So yeah, I'm going to tease that down into a -6 range just to be safe. Marcellus likes the overs in the MAC today. I didn't really do the MAC today. I do have a sheet on it though. Maybe we can chat about that one a little later. Okay, this is the one I'm not sure about, but because I did the work on it, I still want to talk about it because I did work on it. Maybe it'll just help you guys out. We'll do it quick, though. You guys know how high I am on Arkansas and Eric Musselman. I think I have to stay out of the SEC. Like, I'm bad at my Mississippi States. I'm bad at my Arkansas, and I'm bad at my Tennessees. Okay, that being said, you know what? We're not going to do this. Yeah, we're not. We don't need to put that into our heads because we're not good at them. Okay, so then one more to go. This is the later game. It's Abilene Christian at Sam Houston State. Now, you may not have heard of these schools if you're not into betting the smaller schools, but let me tell you about them. I don't know. What is up with Houston? They're playing Tulsa today, aren't they? Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. So this is Sam Houston State. I had a lot of friends in high school who ended up going there when I lived in Houston. These two teams are kick butt. That's what I'm trying to get at here. And I don't think anybody really realizes it or pays attention to it, but they really are. Abilene Christian's 11-2 on the season. Sam is 11-5. Abilene Christian has a number 5 defense right now, just according to the stats that I pulled, allowing opponents 57.3 points a game. They're also in the number 17 range against the spread, 78%, and they're averaging 10.5 steals a game. Super strong school, right? And we have to remember this is like a strength of schedule team also, right? They're playing within their own people, within Lamar and Houston Baptist and Central Arkansas. So they're not playing our Clemsons and Gonzagas and stuff like that. So then we move over to Sam Houston, 11-5 on the season. They are numero uno in rebounds for the season. 28 in three-point field goal percentage, or three-point field goals. Number 20 in free throws, number 30 best against the spread, number 20 best offense at 83 points per game. I mean, does a basketball game get better than that? And you have 2 Texas teams going after each other. So the line on this, it's Abilene is on the road and they are -3 points. And this is the really strong defensive school, right? The total is 139.5. But if you look at the Sam Houston totals in their last 5 games, they're 167, 167, 171. There was a 122 in there, but a 165. And this is why they're such a high-powered scoring offense or high-powered offense. And they rebound like crazy. The total is 139. I'm going to go over this. And I'm also going to take the dog here for sure is where I'm at. And I like Sam Houston on the money line, just straight up, right? I'm going to make a little note of that because I like to remember what I tell you guys after I tell you guys. And then teasing it, the 3.5. Why not tease that and make it a 9.5? So I'm definitely going to take Sam plus the 9.5 points. And then I like it to go over. You're in their house, you're in their house. And I know Abilene's going to come at you, but they've got a 157 against Arkansas. They've got a 148 against Lamar. So it's not like they can't get up there. I think this is going to be a good game. And I really like that play. I really do. So that is about it. Okay, so Alfredo, he's saying you like the Arkansas over for sure. What I got on that, the number's at 156. Auburn's total average is 150. Arkansas's total average is a 157.4. So it's just like right at that number, right over 156, and the other one's down. So if I was going to lean, but see, their numbers are this is part of why I couldn't wrap my head around this one. Against A&M, this is Auburn we're talking about. It's like a 134, 133 against Ole Miss. Then Alabama, it's 184. Georgia, 172. And what happened in that Ole Miss or in that Alabama game where it shot up? That's when Sharif Cooper came back, right? The badass for Auburn who's been out for a while. He came back and all of a sudden their totals jumped. In that last one against Kentucky, though, it was only 125. And then Arkansas, on the other hand, incredibly good rebounders, 8 steals a game, 5 blocks. So, decent team there. Whereas Auburn's bad against the spread, but they are very good at blocks. But they are bad against the spread. Arkansas, we're looking at 149, 153, 168, 168, and then 149. You know what? You're right. I do like it over. When I just said it out loud, I got it. That number, I think, is that number because their last 2 games were low-scoring games. Because if you look, Georgia's number before that game was 158. Arkansas's was 161, and those both went over. So I think because they just both played 2 and under, you're right. I like it. I like the 156 there, going over. And if we're going to tease it, if we tease it down, Auburn, who's the lower scoring total, is 150. If we tease it, then we've got 150 on the dot, right? Okay. So there's that. And then Auburn, it's Arkansas has like that gray hair thing going on, like you get one gray hair and everyone's like, don't pluck it. And then you pluck it and then gray hair. That's what happened with Arkansas. They just had their first loss on January 2nd to Missouri, who's really good, really, really good team. Number 12 in the country right now. That was their first loss. But then since then, they lost to Tennessee, they beat Georgia, they lost to LSU, and they lost to Alabama. So all very good schools, don't get me wrong, but I kind of have that thing going on right now. I don't feel like I can pick a side here. But what I will say is that if you're looking at Arkansas's stats in the book, the stats are going to say that they score 85. In the last 5 games, they only score 75. It's going to say that they give up 71. In the last 5 games, they give up 82. So that's just it. And that's strength of schedule also. It seems like everybody in here is really on Auburn. What'd you lose with Colorado State? Oh, did you take the side? Because we cashed Colorado State. Oh, yeah, you were on Colorado State. Douglas, I told you to take it under. If you guys took the picks yesterday, guys, we were 10-1. Remember? We were 10-1. They were here. Win picking says, give me the Auburn money line. Yeah, they haven't played great. Arkansas has not played great in the past 2 games. Doug in Colorado likes Auburn. So yeah, it seems like we're Auburning it up over here. Yeah, I don't know. Sharif Cooper is the truth, though. I mean, that guy is so good. I will say that. Arkansas has just played a bit of a tougher schedule at this point. I don't know. I'm not saying anything about the side. I just don't feel. I'm glad that you guys are all for Auburn, but I'm not going to pick a side. Okay. Bookie Blasters. That's probably Gregory Trapp right there. KC Chiefs -3. Yeah, Bama and Michigan were great. I was 11-1 yesterday, but I didn't when I watched the tape back, I always mark what I tell you guys to play. And I had Michigan on my paper, but I never told you guys to play it. So fair enough. It does not count in my free pick record. Who all cursed at the TV with me riding Tennessee yesterday? Yeah, that was a rough game, man. And I mean, that's the thing about the teaser. I only had, it was only -0.5 point, and it didn't matter. It could have been plus 12 points. It would not have mattered. So it was what it was. You can't win them all, right? You just can't win them all. To get some good info. All right. So, well, that's all I got. I'm trying to keep them a little bit shorter and sweeter. So, I don't know. Yesterday was a very disorganized day. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is a whole. Doug says he likes the teasers, but it's a whole new ball game, though. I like it because it's kind of a handicapping challenge. And like I said, I'm big on the numbers. So if I can get close and then get 6 more, then hey, what do we got here? Craig says he's rolling with the Kings in the NBA tonight for my NBA bettors. So that's what's up there. Carter Brown, what picks did you miss? Okay, we're going to go through them again real quick. So to start with, the chat likes Auburn and over. So once again, blank statement. I chose these picks to be 6-point teasers, okay? I do think that most of them, I do think all of them really are fine without these. They're fine as straight bets, but for the purposes of what we're doing here, we're going to do this. And I'm going to leave Auburn and Arkansas out just because it wasn't one of my Yeah. Treat teasers like parlays, straight bets for sure. What he means there is if you're going to do a teaser, straight bet each game that's on your teaser and then tease them all together, just like you would do with the parlay. So that way you're guaranteeing if you're 3 and 4, you're still going to make money off of your straight bets. Carter took over in Arkansas. Yeah, hit Bama and CMU over. Nice. It was a good little day. Okay, so my picks for the teaser that I think are also good straight bets. I like Boise minus 14. We're going to drop that number down, and I like it to go over 140. I like Washington minus the 12.5, bring us down to 6.5, and I like it over the 144. And I think my favorite bet, I'm going to regret saying that. No, maybe not. I think my favorite bet is Sam Houston plus the points at home. I'm going to sprinkle the money line there. And you cannot tease money lines, by the way. It would be cool if we could, though. And then I like that game also to go over 139.5. So I've got 3 overs today. And a dog. 3 overs, 2 favorites, and a dog. And that's how we're going to do it. Yeah, Cooper is key for Auburn. He's a stud. What's his damn deal? He's a 6'1" freshman from Georgia, shooting 37%. Yeah, he's a difference maker. He's one of those, he's like a James Harden. But, you know, if he's on the field, if he's on the court, because that's where they play basketball, it's a huge difference maker. So I'm with you guys. I didn't look at BMI today. I didn't look at a whole lot. I do my late night show last night. Tuesday night's my late night show. So I'm on ESPN radio. The local ESPN guys do a happy hour podcast every Tuesday night, and I come on. And so I'm usually filming until about 12:30 at night. I just want to look up Houston real quick, just because it's my school, just because they're at home and they lost to Tulsa. What do you guys think about Tulsa at Houston? It's Houston minus 12. The total's 125.5. Houston's 11-1, 8-0 at home, 5-3 against the spread at home. Tulsa's 8-4, 3-1 on the road, 3-1 against the spread on the road. Okay. That being said, screw Tulsa. Yeah, because when you tease the overs, it'll drop you 6 more points, right? So now our over 140 is going to become an over 134, right? So it gives us a little bit of leeway for those. That's a big thing with me. I am 2 points off of totals all the time, over or under. I'll be like 2 freaking points away. So Washington would be 18.5. What's their number? I've got 5 papers and I can't keep these organized. 12, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 18.5. Correct. That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, Washington would be 18.5 if you want to go that way. But if you want to go the Colorado way, that would bring you down to 6.5. So sorry, I like Colorado minus 6.5 points. Sorry if I wasn't clear on that. Yeah. And I like it to go over 140, but when you tease it, it'll really be 134, right? Does that make sense? Yeah, Houston is going for the rematch right now. Luis says, but Tulsa is going to cover. Shamro, that's a fun name, but I don't know if I can say it. Can I call you Sham? Are we good there? He says take the points. Alfredo loves Houston. You know I love Houston. And Tulsa and the under. Jeff likes Tulsa and the under. I just want to pull up my normal crap that I glance at real quick. That was a tough one for Houston. That was their first loss of the year. And I remember that I had it under, but it was such a close game that Houston needed to score, and I would rather win the game than lose the bet. But that's not what happened. I won the bet and lost the game, and I was actually pretty bummed out about that. I was actually pretty bummed. I would have rather won the game.
So, the other one I wanted to, well, there were a few. We don't have to get into it. See, this is the problem. This is what the chat commenters say, that I'm a rambler. We've got to stay focused, guys. Okay, we got to stay focused. Okay, here we go. Houston's 8-4, 7-4, 67. It's a lot of points, but sugar. I like Houston. I'm sorry, I just do. I mean, I know what revenge spots look like. Tulsa doesn't put up that many points a game. They just kind of had like a great game that day. I think Houston's going to stick it to them right now. So I am not making that official play because I'm a total homer. That's where I went to college. So that's I'm not going to make a play, but I like Houston to roll here. Louise said something we can all agree with, which is that we all love money. So hopefully we're all going to go make some today. One more time, I'll recap for you guys. Still taking Auburn out. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I'm not into it. I didn't look at it hard enough. Like I said, it was a late night too. So, okay. So for our 6-point teaser final play, Boise -14. We're going to tease that down to a -8. Over 140 is going to get teased down to a 132. 34. 134. I know it's not like I do math all day or anything. To a 134, right? So over Boise and minus the points. Honestly, I think those are both fine as straight bets. So Colorado at Washington. I'm going to take Colorado minus the 12.5, bring it down to 6.5. Then I'm going to take it over 144, which will tease down to a 138, right? Colorado and the over. And then my favorite game is Abilene Christian at Sam Houston. I think this is the last game of the night. I love the dog here. I like Sam Houston a lot. Yes, I know about Abilene's defense, but I also know about Sam's offense. So I'm going to take it over 139, which would tease us down to 133.5. And I'm going to take Sam Houston plus 3.5, which gives us plus 9.5 points at home to a very, very good Sam Houston team. And I'm also going to sprinkle that money line just because I'm feeling froggy. And when you're feeling froggy, you got to leap, right? That's what you do. All right. So that wraps it all up. Yeah. Press like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Dan Kaiser and I are going to do a Total Chaos NBA tonight for tomorrow. It's just a little 3-game quickie, but we're going to throw it your way. Today at 6 p.m. Eastern, Nick Parsons and Kurt Alexander will be with me on the live cap talking NHL. So if you want NHL picks, that's where you got to go at 6 p.m. Eastern today. And maybe a little college basketball will get thrown into that as well. Oh no, sorry, my thing's happening. Tomorrow night, wait, what's today's Wednesday? Okay. Actually, let me think about tomorrow night. Let's not go there yet. Okay, I got to plan some things. But yeah, until then, that should keep you stocked for today. Okay, you get your college basketball here. You get your hockey at 6 p.m. and then you get your NBA around like 9 p.m. Eastern. All right. So you guys sit tight, and I'll see you tomorrow morning around same time, 1 o'clock Eastern, maybe 1:30 if I'm running a little bit late. Let's make some cash, guys. Thank you so much for watching and for all your comments and joining in on the fun. Follow me on Twitter at +moneyhoney or at Picks Parlays. See you guys next time.